Okay, let's go through caching. Um, for our website or our setup, what we use is something called WP Rocket. It's a great plugin, which is a paid plugin actually. It has a lot of different settings, which can be very overwhelming the first time you see it, but it's actually not that bad once it's set up correct. Oh, what we just saw here was that it actually cached like 155 pages. That's great, but let's start looking at it. So we go to the dashboard. It's now activated and already working for you. And believe me, it really enhances the performance, both the speed performance and also technical metrics. For example, if you use page speed or GT metrics or pingdom tools, it's gonna give you a huge increase. The main function for you who don't want to get into technical stuff is go to clear cache all languages. This makes sure that all the changes that you might have done, for example, if you change some styling, well, styling in CSS, and not just if you change some HTML, it doesn't have any impact on that. But once you deactivate a plugin or something like that, what you want to do is always make sure that you clear the cache once you are done working on the website. What cache is basically, it takes like a copy of the website. This plugin also does a lot of other things like lazy load, which is amazing, minify, combination of files, stuff like that, and it combines it into one plugin. Yeah, let's just see. Let's just get into it. There's some expiration date. I don't really understand why, because the license is infinite, but I'll look into that and get that fixed. Okay, so we have a clear cache, we have a preload cache, and some purge cache, which is like another form of clearing the cache. Let's start from the beginning. Go to cache. Okay, so what we have right here is enable caching for mobile devices. You always want to have this checked. Today Google scores the website mobile first, so you need to have great mobile metrics basically. We have some user cache, enable caching for logged in WordPress users. Never check that, because right now you can see if you make some changes, so you don't have to clear the cache every time you make some changes to some styling or something like that. Next thing we have is cache lifespan. Yeah, you can basically just read the text, but it's if you have preloading enabled, you can set this cache lifespan to be how many hours or days you want to specify for WP Rocket to rebuild the preloading cache automatically, because a cache has to expire, else it's if a cache is not expiring or it has no expiration date, it's actually gonna hurt your metrics, because it's not like white hat-ish. It's just not good. Okay, so file optimization. This is something that you might want to look into. This is also where most problems actually occur, because if you see that the website looks broken, in most cases it's actually something to do with minifying and combining, remove query strings, something like this. Maybe you choose to combine load. Yeah, this is the new stuff. If you want, it's very technical, and if you don't know what you're doing, just don't touch it. But this is the way to go. By deferring files, it's just basically choosing how you want to, or in which rækkefølge, in which order that you want to load different scripts in. I don't use it yet because I've seen websites break a lot using it, so it's not now. But we minify, we combine some Google fonts, and this setup, it just works, and it doesn't give us any errors, so I wouldn't really change it. You might want to, well, if you could just have a check mark in all of these, it would help the metrics, but I also think that it would break the website more often than it does today, and the website doesn't really break ever today, so that's great. For lazy load, we have we enable lazy load for images, iframes, and videos. Lazy load is basically that you only load an image if you need it. So if I have an image for if I have an IKEA logo under partners and then under IKEA partner, if I never go to that page, why should I load it? So lazy load prevents me from loading it unless I'm going to use it. So it reduces file size and things just load easier, or at least it loads faster, and it actually has a huge impact. I don't do this for YouTube iframe. I don't remember why. I just remember when I used it, it messed up the YouTube videos on the website, so I stopped using it. Disable emoji, well, that's it's recommended to use this, so you might want to check mark this as well, because emojis, it's not good for the load speed, and it also hurts your technical metrics if it's enabled or if you actually use emojis. Let's go to something interesting. So the preload. Okay, what we see here is that we preload, or well, we have the sitemap right here. Don't touch any of this actually. It's related to the SEO, the SEO by Yoast, and it just runs. Just keep it this way. But preload bot, it can be set to manual and it can be set to automatic. I set it to manual, and then when I'm done with the website, I just go preload cache, all languages. And the reason why I do manual and not automatic or bot-based as it says is that I've seen website break too many times, so I'm not really fond of using the automatic. Automatic is great if you are an agency with a lot of websites and you just want it to run by itself, but since you will probably be the webmaster watching this video, you just want to make sure that whenever you leave the website, you are done working, just clear the cache and then preload the cache. That's gonna build a great cache for yeah. It's basically it. There are a lot of other advanced features. You don't really want to look into this. There's something about the database. You can clean up the database. You can make it clean up the database automatically. This is also cleaning up revisions, this is taking up a huge amount of file size. So it's making the website a lot more heavy than it needs to be. It also says here back up your database before you run the cleanup. Well, I've never ever seen a website break cleaning up the database, and it's probably not going to break as well, but it would be a wise idea always to have a backup anyways. You can schedule this to do it automatically, perhaps once per month or something like that, and it's just gonna clean up trash posts, auto drafts, and every time you save you get a revision. We almost got 1,000 revisions, which means that we made 1,000 changes. We don't really need those. Those are only good for a period of time if you want to go back and restore something that you just did. But it's probably not always the case. I've done this so few times, managing so many websites, so it's not. It's a good thing to clean up, honestly. CDN, yeah. I don't want to get into this part because this should be done by a developer if you want to look into to use a content delivery network with your images, making your website a lot lighter. There are some tools. This is just basically export, import the settings. Yeah, very simple. But if you see the website break, clear the cache. If you change something in the CSS, clear the cache. And that's pretty much